If I was passionate about the construction industry, here is one such business idea that I will definitely consider. Data from the Kenya Bureau of Statistics has shown that the construction industry has been growing at a faster rate of about 13.6% compared to the financial and agricultural sector. Hello and welcome again to Unlimited by Mona. Here we discuss the principles of modern business and also educate on how to start, manage and grow your business. Today my focus is on business ideas and I'm going to take you through the scaffolding business. If I was passionate about the construction industry, here is one such business idea that I will definitely consider. And this is on the scaffolding rental business. The construction sector is one of the fastest rising sectors in the country right now. And if you're somebody who loves to observe, you'll realize that there are so many buildings mushrooming all over the place right now, both commercial and residential. Data from the Kenya Bureau of Statistics has shown that the construction industry has been growing at a faster rate of about 13.6% compared to the financial and agricultural sector. The financial industry has grown by 8.7% and the agricultural sector has grown by 5.6%. So if you're comparing the three, you'll realize that there are more opportunities, especially on the construction industry. These are just percentages, but one thing you'll realize is that there is so much money being channeled into the construction industry right now. Some of the factors that have contributed to this kind of growth in the construction industry is factors such as devolution, and by devolution I mean the transfer of power from the national level to the subnational level, such as the counties and all. Basically, we are not only relying on Nairobi as the main city, we also see the mushrooming of other cities. This has led to a spike in each and every county trying to match up to the standards of development. And the second factor that I feel like will have contributed to this growth is that we have so many middle income earners right now who can afford to buy at least a piece of land for their families. And after they purchase, the next stage is the construction. And sometimes the construction takes even up to a period of about 5 years. And once they're done with that building, sometimes you hear people say that I'm not happy with the first building I built, I want to work on another one. So you find people just trying to construct. Rural to urban migration has also resulted to so many people coming to towns to look for settlements, and this has also forced people to build more buildings so that they can accommodate all of these people coming into the towns. So back to the scaffolding business. The best part about this business, as per my findings, according to the people I have been able to interview who are already in this business, they've actually admitted that for this kind of business or this kind of scaffolding renting, the demand is usually higher than the supply. Not very many people know about this business idea, hence it makes it so lucrative because it needs very little capital to start. So we can begin by defining what exactly a scaffold is, because by now I believe someone out there is trying to ask himself, what is this scaffold? What is she talking about? So a scaffold is mainly structures found on the outside of construction buildings, and what they are used for is that these construction workers use them to climb the top of the buildings, especially the exterior, in order for them to be able to plaster the building, to paint the building, to make repairs, to fix lighting, anything that happens on the outside of a building that requires someone to climb onto that wall. Scaffolds are what are usually used. They're also used in the fixing of windows, anything that you can think of that happens on the exterior of a building. That's the main purpose of a scaffold. So scaffolds can be both wooden or metallic, but most of us usually associate scaffold with the metallic structures, but scaffold is not only metallic, can also be wooden. Scaffolds are also used to hold together slabs, especially if somebody is trying to make a pillar, a concrete pillar on a building. There's usually those pieces of wood that are nailed together, especially the 6x1. And also, apart from holding the concrete pillars, they also help to, when somebody is trying to construct a slab on top of a house, especially if you want to have an extra floor, the concrete mixture that is left to dry on top of the house is called a slab. So that is also used to make some of that to support and also hold the mixture in place. So how you can start this business? So if you're starting small, I would advise you get a space. If you have a backyard or a space that you're not using at home, that is a good place to start. But if you have some more financial muscle, you can find a small space or a yard where you can start now putting your materials and then starting renting them out from there. You can begin with wooden scaffolds, and this mainly you can use wood such as pine or eucalyptus that you can get from hardware near you. The most common sizes used are 8x1 and 9x1. So if you're able to get those sizes of timber, especially the long ones that can be used on buildings, you can consider using those ones. Steel scaffolds are usually more durable than the wooden ones. So if you have more money and you want to invest in something that will at least will give you more value for a longer period of time, then you can go for the steel scaffolds. And a single unit of steel scaffold goes for averagely 1,000 Kenya shillings. So the second step is looking for a yard. A yard is a place where you'll be putting your props and also a central place where you'll be working from. If you find an idle piece of land near a town center, which is not in use, you can now try and find the owner and try to lease that for you to be able to operate from there. And if you have a place where you already own like a backyard, you can also begin from there. But the problem is that you cannot be bringing people to your place of work. So the better option is to find a place that is easily visible, that people can spot from afar, maybe as they pass by or as they drive by. Another good idea will be that many business areas, especially here in Kenya, usually have maybe a backyard. You can consider getting a shop that has a back space which you can be storing your products from there. And even if you're utilizing the front space, you can use it for other stuff and selling other products that are in line with this kind of business of rental scaffolds. You can start a small general hardware with little stuff. Even if your main focus is the scaffolds, you can store them in the back of the building and then put up a sample in front of your building so that when people are passing by, they can easily see that we actually have rental scaffolds available at this place. The third step is looking for transport. If you have a small lorry or a pickup, that's a good advantage for you. But if you don't have one, it's still okay. You could be renting out a pickup for about 2 hours and it costs averagely about 2,000. So do your calculations well so that you're able to cater for the cost of the scaffolds and also charge the client for the transport. The fourth step is marketing. Marketing means you going out there with your business card or your flyer or anything that you have or a brochure that is well stating your services. And then now when you go out, at least try and find people like project developers or also foremen of those buildings. Instead of going directly to the client, you can just go to project developers or the foremen because they're the people who actually advise the clients. And then you'll realize that, especially in Kenya, someone could be handling one project, but they could be also having maybe 10 other projects going on at the same time. So if you go to these people, you're at a better advantage because they already have business. It's just for you to give them a good rate and the business will pick up right from day one. Make sure your price is reasonable because the standard price for renting a single unit of a scaffold per day is about 100 shillings for 40 days because this is the period that is needed for a concrete slab to dry up or maybe cure properly. So for the sake of short distance deliveries, you can also purchase a wooden cart, the one that's popularly known as mkokoteni. It goes for about 20,000 Kenya shillings. So if you have that kind of money, you can purchase one for the sake of local deliveries. So as your business keeps growing, you can also consider purchasing other stuff that go hand in hand with this kind of scaffolds, such as vibrators, concrete mixtures, wheelbarrow, shovels, all stuff that are usually needed in a construction site. Because when somebody is asking for scaffolds to come and use them in their construction site, they also need some of this stuff like the concrete mixtures, shovels, wheelbarrows, buckets. All of these stuff are things that go hand in hand with that kind of business. So this kind of business, you can comfortably start with about 100K. And the best part is that you don't have to be around to run this kind of business. You can easily just make sure you've done well on your part, especially in the marketing. And this is not the kind of business that maybe stops you from doing other things. You can start this on a part-time, but just make sure that you have the right kind of systems on site to make sure that your products don't get lost or maybe people end up stealing your cash, because that could also be another problem that arises. If you feel like this is a business idea that resonates with you and you feel like it's something that you can give a try, don't hesitate to give it a try. Stay blessed. Let's meet in the next.